Hi and welcome on to the All Guns Blazing podcast with my man DT and also a special guest today, Flex from United Stand. What's up with the disguise, man?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good.
This ain't Top Boy. I mean, man thinks it's Top Boy.
No. This is my little disguise.
Don't be scared, man. Don't be scared.
I already said before we played Leicester, I was really scared then. I was like, if we lose our next 3 games, this is how you're going to see me. Then we won that, and then it went to shit again, and now we got you. So if we lose against you lot after Old Trafford, mate, we'll be doing the fan cams.
Do you know what I find really amusing though, Robbie? Do you remember when Ollie was at the wheel? And we'd done the preview at the Emirates before we played Manchester United. There was a certain someone over there laughing away because we just lost in the Europa League, didn't we? Out in France. And this guy was laughing, winding us up. Ollie's at the wheel. And then he came crashing down and now man's wearing disguises.
Back out of it.
Karma.
We're going to get into all that soon. It's going to be a really interesting show. As I said, Flex from United Stand, the Man United channel, excellent channel as well. And also you got myself and DT. Just before we get into the big one, which is the game Monday night, Arsenal visiting Manchester United at Old Trafford. The guys from AAA have given us this one this week. Very, very controversial. Watch this about Anthony Martial.
Anthony Martial is the most overpriced, overrated player in Premier League history. £50 million, United fans screaming that they've got their saviour, and he's done absolutely nothing. 11 goals is the most he's scored in a Premier League season. I mean, there's midfielders that hit those figures regularly every year.
Flex. I know he's a Liverpool fan, but that's pretty damning, isn't it?
I mean, not only is he just a Liverpool fan, he looks like he don't know nothing about football as well. Like, he's talking crap because you know why? Not just because he's a Liverpool fan, it's nothing to do with that. What, Torres went Chelsea, didn't do nothing for 50 million at the time. They was like, what's happened to this guy? Even if he would have said Alexis Sanchez, I'd have been like, boy, you know what? Yeah, man's got a point. Martial, he's chatting crap. He's only saying that because Martial announced himself against them, man, and put them to bed. That's why he's saying that. Because he did. He's chatting shit.
Do you agree?
Come on, man.
No, I can't agree with that. He's not the biggest flop. There are ones that are...
Has he flopped though? Has Martial flopped?
Well, look,
You can't.
he's a young lad. He came with a lot of promise, shall we say, from Monaco. Obviously burst on the scene against Liverpool when Martin Tyler nearly ejaculated himself commentating on it.
Yeah, like he did when he went, Will Todd! Same thing,
was that the one where we won the league at Old Trafford? Yeah. Cheers for reminding me. But he's I would say Alexis more when you think of what I know that Alexis never had a price tag, but when you think of the kind of wages that they gave him and the hype behind it, the whole piano intro, I'd say he's much more of a flop. Martial, he still scored. I think he scored more than 50 goals.
Yeah,
Martial's a good player.
Don't get me wrong. I agree from a United point of view. We're still waiting for him to have that truly prolific season, but he's never. Isn't he? To be fair, he only just got his number 9 back and he's playing centrally for us. He's been playing on the left for most managers, and then even when Alexis came, Martial was in good form, and then Jose just dashed him out and it's a mixture of both. But he's definitely not.
Yeah.
The biggest.
Listen, you can watch the full video if you click the link in the description. Go there, comment on it. I'm sure United fans are going to have a lot to say on that. But go to that link, click on the link and comment on that and follow the guys there on 888 Sport.
Just quickly as well, because he's a Liverpool fan. He needs to practice what he preaches. Andy Carroll.
Yeah.
There's a name.
How much did they get him for?
40 million? Ricky Lambert.
Danny Ings.
There's a whole catalogue of them.
They've had dead strikers, man. Dead.
So
they ain't now.
Yeah, no, not now. Maybe someone needs to pose those names to him.
I think he said that with a lot of hatred towards Manchester United. Anyway, that segues perfectly into the game.
Yeah.
Right. First of all, let's just take a look at, what leading up to the game. Neither team really, you could say, has been tearing up trees. We're above Manchester United in the league, but DT, we've been a bit inconsistent. That game against Villa last week, it was a fantastic comeback, by Arsenal. Brilliant comeback. But there were some very worrying things watching that game. The way in which Villa got through us so easily at times. Man United with more quality players. If we play like that, You know, and we're not going to be able to come back. We got to tighten up the defence and sort that midfield out, haven't we?
We've been asking to tighten up the defence and midfield kind of area for a long time, ain't just this season, it's last season, season before and whatnot. And we are very reliant on, for me, one of, if not the best striker in the Premier League. Golden Boot winner last year, hit the ground running this season. He's right up there. If you're talking about the Kanes and Agueros, Aubameyang's right up there, but we can't keep relying on him. You can't. I suppose the promising aspect of it is that we know we've got players coming back in those key areas, which we're kind of holding hope on. Tierney's performance last time out, I know it was Nottingham Forest and everything else, but given the fact he's had a double groin operation and looked like that didn't look like his debut.
Would you throw him in?
Oh, I said it after the game, 100%.
Yeah?
100%. You have to. I'd rather a 75-80% match sharp Tierney than 100% Kolasinac. And that's just because he's better. He's a better left back. His delivery, the way he beats players, he can cause Man United problems. And Man United have got problems. Although we haven't been as fluid and as great at the start of the season, we still only lost one game.
Yeah, and we have actually won our last 3 games. You know what I mean? You know, there was the Frankfurt 3-0. There was that comeback against Villa 3-2, and then 5-0. Very impressive against Nottingham Forest, as you said. A couple of guys coming back, Tierney, Bellerin coming back, Holding coming back with a goal as well. That was a good thing to see. Young, hungry players in that midfield. I mean, I heard there was a lot of talk about the youngsters at Liverpool. I think the most impressive youngsters, maybe Chelsea as well this week, but the most impressive youngsters, apart from maybe Chelsea, were Arsenal's. You know what I mean? Saka, Willock. You know, so
these are players that are knocking on the door, and because when they're playing for the first team, they're proving while they're knocking on the door. Joe Willock is probably the most advanced out of all the youngsters in terms of a starting 11, because every time he plays, he impresses me.
He's been scoring goals as well, hasn't he?
That's what he's added to his game, and I think I've done an interview with you a year or so ago about Joe Willock, and I said that he started to score goals for the under-23s. It's a part of his game that he's now started to do, and it's what stands you out in that position when you start to score goals, which is why players like Lampard, Gerrard, they were so big, because they had goals to their game. They scored goals. Important players. And it all bodes well, but I'm not getting ahead of myself going to Old Trafford.
No.
Yeah,
listen.
No.
You know, when you the funny thing is,
listen, we could be on the form of Liverpool right now. But sometimes there's grounds that just do not ever seem to be good for you. Even when we had Henry's, Vieira's, we still struggled at Old Trafford.
Yeah, but that was a different... You know, when you look at the struggles that Manchester United have been having, the team should be going there confident. I mean, let's go to you, Flex, right? It
should be,
It's been a poor start to the season, hasn't it? I mean, that game I was watching, I couldn't believe what I was watching the other night against Rochdale.
You want to try being in the stands?
You know, and a 16-year-old kid stealing the show.
He was taking pictures with Luke Shaw last week at his school.
Yeah, at his school. It's unbelievable. Then as well, you know, penalties, and you were lucky that one of their players took a very poor penalty. I mean, United dispatched a penalty as well. But, I mean, that was really poor. The game against West Ham, again, very poor. And I think what it is with a lot of teams at the moment, looking at teams when they're playing United, they're not scared no more.
No one's scared of us.
They used to be. Yeah. Probably a lot of teams facing Arsenal, you could say the same thing as well, because they're not fearful. You know, the way Villa came and took it to us last week, they're not scared. But in particular, everybody used to be scared to go to Manchester United, especially when Fergie was there.
It's like you lot still are though. Even though I was so crap, you lot still scared to go up there, don't it?
Well, I'm not scared, but
You're worried.
I can understand where DT's coming from, simply
that's because
of the poor record. But United, what's gone wrong? What's happened to the wheel? Like you said at the start, last season, Ollie at the wheel.
Well, every car has to go in for a service. You don't act like you don't service your cars.
How long's it in for a service?
Hold on a minute. Do you go and just drive your car all the time? Don't put no petrol in it. Don't change the tyres sometimes.
Yeah, but we don't take it for a service so early.
Yeah,
that's early for a service, man. Normally you do like 10,000 miles.
It's 10,000 miles or whichever comes first.
Listen, you look like you've taken it in for a new engine, not a service. Do you know what I mean?
We're trying to change the car, mate.
what's gone wrong?
It's a combination of things, man. I think United fans, we all got sucked into when Ollie got the job. Absolutely, I hold my hands up. I don't think any United fan would have literally have looked at that and gone, no. I met maybe a couple who were like, well, I don't know when the going gets tough. But at the time, it was, you saw it as like, absolutely. And it's all come crashing down so far with... the problem is so much bigger than Ollie, because even at the moment, there's a lot of fans saying, just get him out and da-da-da-da. For me, I'm not in that camp yet. It's still early in the season. If we go and beat you, we're level on points. Tottenham are supposed to be the perfect team with the perfect manager. We're level on points with them. Chelsea, who are supposed to be in and amongst it as well, we're level on points with them. So it's still very, very early in the context of the season. But because of the manner of the defeats, then you're seeing like Astana, only been in existence 10 years, scrape a 1-0 against them, Rochdale, penalties. It's because we're seeing things like that. So for me, I'm still...
What is it?
We're not good enough. What it is I said to you on the Sky thing, and you were like, but what do you mean you're not good enough? You've got this, you've got that. When we break our team down...
Let me break it down again, right? You said to me when we did that thing, not good enough. And I'm like, hold on. De Gea in goal, the best keeper in the Premier League.
Not for me.
Right? All right.
Yeah,
if he's not the best...
but he was.
If he's not the best, he was, and he's around the best in the world, right? In defence, Maguire, one of the best defenders in centre-backs in the league.
We've got better in defence.
Wan-Bissaka. You've got a good defence. Lindelof.
The problem is everywhere else, though.
And then in midfield, Pogba.
That's it, but then stop there. That's the midfield.
All right, but you've got Pogba.
That's it, though. That's it.
Of someone like Fred. He's not rubbish, is he?
The jury's still out on him.
Fred.
No, but he's not rubbish.
He's not rubbish, but he's not rubbish. He's not
£50
rubbish, but at the moment, Ollie's not playing him. Don't ask me why. We've got Matic. We've got McTominay's breakthrough season, and he's... Mata passed it. Andreas Pereira, average. Then you go into attack. You got Marcus Rashford, overrated. Never going to be prolific in my opinion. Martial, he's been injured for the last 3 or 4 games. And then we've got
Daniel James.
We've got Daniel James, who's a £15 million player from Swansea, who's now integral to our starting 11. He's been our most informed player.
But it doesn't
had a bigger impact
price,
already than Pepe.
Doesn't matter about the price.
That's what I'm saying though. He's an up and coming player who the longevity of how long it's gonna take him to get good, we don't know. Then you look at Lingard, the only thing he's done is obviously the disco dancing at your place, which might actually help us. He might actually pull one out the bag again and then go back into hibernation. We're not good enough, man. We're not good enough. But I'm saying
the players you've just named.
It's nice. I like this.
No, but listen, the players he's just named out. That's not what I describe as a rubbish team. Those are world class. Well, not world class, but they're all internationals, aren't they? They're all top players. Pogba's a world class player. You've got these players.
Yeah, and listen, Pogba can be the difference. When Pogba's in our side, when Pogba and Martial started with the season, we saw them create chances. We saw them getting on the end of things, and we saw a little bit of what we might have to offer throughout the whole season. But every Man United fan, as soon as the transfer window closed, and all we done was shore up the defence and bring in a young, unproven Championship player in Daniel James. We all went, well, to be fair, if Ollie gets fourth with that, Jesus Christ, he's probably manager of the season. Because you look at how we finished last season with the players, we look at the players that we had to move out. We all said we almost needed like 8 to 9 players to come into our starting team. We've only brought 3 into our starting team. We've still got all the rest. So I don't believe in getting rid of Ollie because we still have to give him the tools. We still have to back him in the transfer window. And I know it's easy as outsiders to say, back him in the transfer. And you spent 80 million on Maguire. You spent best part of 50 on things. Yeah, but the net spend, and you lot talk a lot about net spend and, well, you haven't actually paid the money for Pepe, so we only spent this or whatever. We sold Lukaku for 75 million. He didn't get replaced.
Was that a mistake? Was that a mistake?
No. Do you know why I don't?
Because he scores goals.
The only mistake.
You've had a lack of goals in the last few games.
The only mistake was not replacing him. Because he didn't fit into the style of play. He wasn't linking play. When he wasn't scoring goals, he wasn't contributing anything.
But could he not have still done a job for you now?
That's why I'm saying not replacing him. If you weren't going to replace him, may as well just kept him.
Yeah.
I am in that. And the same with Alexis.
You shipped out Alexis and Lukaku.
But then the problem is, Rob, is that Ollie's come out and said Mason Greenwood's going to be his guy. The reason why he didn't replace Lukaku, the reason why he didn't replace Sanchez, because he believes in this kid. Now, don't get me wrong. Mason Greenwood looks an excellent player. Yeah, he's shown little glimpses already in the first team. But Ollie's trying to do the youth thing and says it in the press conferences. But what we're seeing on the pitch in the Premier League is not that. He's not playing Gomez. He's not playing Mason Greenwood. Chong, he's not getting that many opportunities in the first team and looked looked cagey, looked
I
bad
was
against
seeing
Rochdale.
I was seeing that
Astana.
Chong get absolutely
Yeah,
hammered
because he didn't
by
have a
your
good game.
fans.
So, but then don't come out in the press conferences before the games and be like, you know, it's fine that we don't have Lukaku, it's fine that we don't have Sanchez because Mason Greenwood's the next guy, you know? For me, I get the pressure around young players, but for me, Ollie's already put the pressure on the kid. The guy in the press conference, they said, who's the best finisher at the club? He said Mason Greenwood. He said Martial's good, Rashford's good, but he's both-footed, he's this, he's that. Then he said he's going to score goals. Then he said it's a pathway for Mason Greenwood that Lukaku's gone. So you've already heaped the pressure onto the kids to play.
Do you know what I think the problem is? And something that's really damning towards Man United is that your best striker is your manager. Do you know what I mean? That's how bad it is. It is though. Solskjaer's their best player.
No, our best striker's Martial. Our best striker's Martial,
It's
man.
just-
And look,
Do you think the result against Chelsea on the opening day of the season kind of gave you false hope?
not if you know football.
No, because I watched that game and I was like, how the hell did Chelsea lose that 4-0?
Not if you know football. Watch my match reaction. Watch a lot of those guys who came on United stand after that game. It was that wasn't a 4-0. You know, you're looking at that game. First 20 minutes, we were shocking. Marcus Rashford in particular got the penalty through clumsy defending through Chelsea, dispatched it well. Even after that, they went up the other end, hit the post, crossbars before half time. Then we came out, a bit of a smash and grab on the counter attack, and then the game was put to bed, and then they crumbled from them. But it weren't a 4-0 game. What it is when we even have our full strength team, even with Pogba in it, which he's a doubt for Arsenal as well, we'll talk about that.
But did he not play against Rochdale?
He played against Rochdale and now his ankle's swollen up again. So then it begs the difference. Anyway, we won't create enough chances. That's our problem. Against Chelsea is one of them one-off games where we created 4, scored 4. Over 38 games in a Premier League season, that's not going to be enough. You need to put teams under the cosh. We can't control games. We can't, when we are on top, we don't score. We're not clinical. We're laying all our eggs in Rashford, who's never scored more than 12 Premier League goals this season. Tammy Abraham's 3 goals off Marcus Rashford's best already, so that proves what category. And we're relying on Martial to produce 2025.
That's
going
to come back to haunt you as well, isn't it? That Tabby Abrahams one, because I see you do a video on that.
I'll probably already have to say sorry. Do you know what I mean? So look, it's bleak times. However, yeah,
I know.
However, this is football. This is a game called football, and football has some crazy shit that goes on in it. And I tell you what. All the chips are stacked against us in terms of we might not even have Pogba back for this game. We definitely don't have Martial. We're in a bad run of form. We can't even beat Rochdale in 90 minutes. We're scraping through against Astana, getting our asses handed to us against West Ham. However, and you lot will agree, Arsenal can always do an Arsenal.
He's right, isn't he?
I know what he's saying.
He's right.
It's true. Do you want me to tell you why?
Listen, if we play against them lot,
like we did in the first
second half, and the second half against Watford and the first half against Aston Villa,
we'll get beat.
And if Socrates and Luis play, I feel like we can get out.
Better quality players right now. The problem we've seen so far this season has been two problems. Number one is the defence, obviously. But then I felt a bit sorry for that defence sometimes because
there's no protection.
They're always there's nobody in front of them. The midfield will disappear upfield, and then one ball over the top.
Yeah, I know.
And then teams will be straight through. Now, if it's Martial's
not playing. He's not.
He won't be fit.
He's out.
Or even Greenwood, or these guys.
Greenwood's got to play.
Right. If it's these guys, right, that are played in, they will dispatch the ball. We've got to defend properly in that game. But then the other problem is, Unai Emery, is he going to be bold in this game and say to himself, you know what, United are there for the taking. Rochdale,
got no confidence
West Ham,
Emery's going to pick the right team.
You know, like you said, Astana. You've seen teams go to Old Trafford, be on the front foot and give them lots of problems. Is he going to go for it? Because if he goes for it, I think if we go for it, I think we'll win the game.
Robbie,
but we've seen with the manager how he can be kind of negative sometimes.
If he sets up right, we could destroy Man United. Simple facts. We have the better quality players. We have, for a starter, Torreira has to play as a DM. Stop playing him box to box. Stop trying to play him just off the striker. No, listen.
Confirmed, Xhaka, you said yourself.
Yes, I know.
Breaking news, Xhaka confirmed as the permanent captain, which means he'll probably play.
Well, that actually wasn't Unai Emery's decision, judging by what we've been told the last couple of days. It was the players. But what I'm saying is...
The players,
they've done a blind ballot. where the players.
What? That's how they picked the captain.
Yeah, that's how they picked it.
To be fair, our
Don't get me
captain's
started.
actually young, so I'm not
But
even going to talk.
What I'm saying is that Torreira has to play at the base. And again, I will say it was only Nottingham Forest, with all due respect to them. But Torreira played at the base against Nottingham Forest.
Torreira,
and how more solid did we look? I know Nottingham Forest made changes, but they win this weekend. They got obviously the game tonight, I believe it is, the Friday night game. And they win that, they go top of the championship. So they're no mugs. They're high on confidence. He done the job. Does the dirty work, dispatches it, lets all the expansive players go and do what they need to do. And in our attack, we've got, for me, right up there in terms of what they're capable of doing, of Liverpool and Man City. We've got a frightening attack and missing Lacazette. But yet there's still major players there that can destroy Man United. But it's how will Unai Emery set up? Because if he goes there being overly cautious, let's play this silly diamonds
and all that, yeah.
All this. Because you look at the Liverpool game, for example, at Anfield. I know we lost the game, but we all walked out of there thinking, you know what? I'm not as despondent as I have been when I've walked out of Anfield before, because you know what? We should have been 1-0 up at half time, not 1-0 down. Pepe goes through. Never seen anyone give Robertson the hard time that he gave him that day. So swings and roundabouts, little things would have went our way. We'd have won that game at Anfield, or we would have made it a little bit more closer game, should we say. But a lot of that was based on the fact that you had Joe Willock in the midfield. And he has that energy, the burst, and can really get at the back four, the other side, and break those lines.
Of chances in games, man.
I know.
Giving away so many. Playing out from the back, giving away.
Well, that's what I mean. Nottingham Forest, I think we only had about 4
penalties
chances.
We've given away.
These men are worried, You'd think we were the informed team.
No. Do you know what it is, Flex?
Worried.
Flex. We're not worried about your team. We're worried about ourselves.
Yeah.
We're worried about the whole mindset. Will they go there going, we know our record's not that great. Do we set up a bit cautiously? The only people that can lose this game are ourselves.
I mean,
that's what worries me.
The manager should be saying to these players, you know what? Right now,
this is your best chance.
These lot are
attack.
poor.
If
Let's
you
go and
can't
have
beat
a
us
go.
now,
because I saw the game against.
honestly.
I saw the game. Whether you obviously you've been playing poorly. But at Old Trafford, your record ain't been too bad, has it? I mean, you beat Leicester there as well.
Yeah, we lost against Palace.
Right? You lost against Palace, but you beat Leicester.
And beat
I
Chelsea.
thought in that game against Leicester,
That was just an even game. Without the penalty, it would have been a draw.
they made the mistake of being a bit too negative at the start of the game, didn't they? I mean, when they went for it now, you thought that they should have got something out of the game.
Yeah.
So I'm just a little bit worried. What worries me a bit is Unai Emery, his tactics for that game. We know that he likes to think different tactics for each game. I really want him to go there and be on the front foot. I think every Arsenal fan would like to see, not ridiculously, but because
we don't have to be,
United have
Robbie.
got quality players.
We don't have to be. We don't have to be.
Torreira
Robbie.
has to be
at the base of the midfield.
Yeah, and to me, I'd have Torreira, I'd have Guendouzi, who's been playing brilliantly, and then for me it's one of Ceballos and Willock. And possibly you go Willock because he's not only he's got a brilliant engine on him, gets all around the pitch, also scores goals as well.
Yeah. What are you saying about your back four?
He's scoring goals.
Because Holden obviously played against Thing. Is it too early for him? And
I think it will be too early. Definitely be too early.
So what's
for
that going to be?
Bellerin.
Mustafi right back because Maitland-Niles is suspended, isn't it?
No, he ain't.
No, he served. Maitland-Niles will have served his suspension.
Oh, it was a one-game thing in League Cup.
Yeah, it was 2 yellow cards, wasn't it?
Oh, if he's right back, that's blessed.
Right.
That's I'm not even bantering. I'm not even bantering. So right back, he's shit.
Who will go on your left-hand side then?
Dan James will rinse him.
Would it Dan James go on the left? I thought he was on the right.
Nah, because there's no Rashford and there's no Martial as well. Dan James will be on the left.
That would be a worry. Would you? The thing
He's
is,
got
the
a
thing
full
is,
worry now as well.
No, but
and Greenwood's going to be up front.
Wait a minute.
He better be up front.
Wait a minute. To me,
Lingard was up front up last game, wasn't he?
One second. To me, I would deploy Chambers there.
Yeah.
Deploy.
Yeah, Chambers has been playing.
Setting up an attack.
Yeah, he's got a vocab, you know. What's wrong? He's got vocab, bro. Hold tight, man. You don't know what deploy means.
Right. Chambers
doesn't mean unemployed or anything like that, mate.
Yeah, don't be unemployed.
You dickhead. Hey, you're in the same game as me. Hey, listen, you're in the same game as me right now.
Does he mean a fake?
Listen. Hey, you're the one who shops at Bovey Market, yeah? Don't try to throw that. That's 1-1. Fool.
Listen. Callum Chambers at right back. That's another one. Why doesn't?
Is he been playing
To me, Maitland-Niles has been having a poor time.
Yeah.
Chambers this season playing at right back. He's
Can I
been
counter that?
He's not the quickest.
Yeah.
Or Mustafi, I'll take it.
Now, the reason why I'm going to counter you there, Robbie, is now I know that Dan James is going on that left-hand side, and the one thing I say about him is that he's fast. I remember the last time Callum Chambers, for as well as he's done this season.
You can't judge it. I know what you're going to say at Swansea.
At Swansea, when he went up against Montero.
How long ago was that? How many years ago was that?
It doesn't matter. He ain't got faster.
No, you can't just judge it and just say, he ain't got faster, but positionally.
Dan James is rapid.
Yeah, maybe
right,
he
his
has got
crossing
better positionally.
is better.
Oh, yeah. His crossing's superb.
And he defends better.
Maybe try and push Dan James the other way.
He defends.
Best form of defence is attack.
He defends better than Maitland-Niles.
Oh, I agree.
I would play Chambers. I would play Chambers in that game without a doubt.
Would you not play him in the centre?
Tierney.
Would you not play him in the centre though?
No, I'll play him at the right.
Okay, is it going to be Socrates and Luis as well?
Not for me.
Probably.
No, but will it probably be?
It probably will be, but not for me.
See, that is, we're talking about things from United. We're looking at like positives because let's face it, in the context of football, we look like sitting ducks. We look like we're just ready to lose. However, we need.
You're trying to talk yourself down.
No. Because you know what? I'm not.
I'm
trying to not get too confident.
No. I'm going to do a DT. No.
We see you've been.
Listen, I think it'll be a draw.
You're missing one important part there.
Listen.
At the end of all that.
Listen.
I represent my fucking self.
I'll be honest with you. I still think it's going to be a draw. Like, for how unconfident I am not winning the game, I don't think we'll lose because that thing of the Arsenal mentality, and we somehow these batch of players, I wouldn't put it past them to get up for Arsenal, then go to Newcastle the week after against a shit Newcastle side of Steve Bruce struggled and lose.
Is that who you've got, Newcastle after?
Yes, that's who we got. So look, what is for me the reason why we could get something out of it is if Emery doesn't play the right team, which with how you lot have been going this season, I've seen a lot of you guys saying he shouldn't have done this, he shouldn't have done that. Why is it taking for that to happen, for this to happen? So we need that to happen. David Luiz and Socrates, I look at that partnership, I don't know what you lot think, but I think there's at least 2 mistakes in there for depending on who's going to do it.
Season,
exactly. So we can get at that. Something will happen with them too.
But what I would say positive is a positive, and I'm with DT on this one. If we played at Tierney, I was very impressed with him, and I think that he could make a difference in that defence.
He's a good player.
Well.
He's a good player. Absolutely, absolutely. So if you play him, then that could counter it on that side, and maybe stop Wan-Bissaka coming down that side. But for us, then it's about Solskjaer, man, because if he comes with some bullshit Andreas Pereira on the right, he's not a winger. All he ever does is start him on the right, and then after 65 minutes brings him in and plays him centrally, which is his position, and even then he's still not got the full quality. So if he starts him out on the right, I don't want to see that. For what we have available, it's got to be Jesse on the right, really. It's got to be Lingard on the right for this game.
You're saying this about your team and stuff. I'll tell you what would be interesting, a combined 11 at the moment.
Well, let's do a combined 11, but first of all, what I want to do is get your 11, your Arsenal 11 and your Man United 11 for the game.
What we think we'll start at what we want to happen.
So let me start with you, Flex.
What I think will happen, or what I want to happen.
What you want to happen.
What you want to happen.
All right.
No, you know what? What you think will happen.
What I think will happen.
Yeah.
All right, what I think will happen, obviously De Gea in goal, Wan-Bissaka right back, it'll be Lindelof and Maguire, and it'll be Ashley Young left back. Yeah. Because that's actually all we got anyway, to be fair. There you go, Pepe against Ashley Young.
Midfield?
Well, what I think will happen, it will be, hope it's not, but Matic wasn't even on the bench against Rochdale.
He's being rested.
So I hate to say it, I think he's going to go Matic, McTominay. Pogba's a doubt. So if he is a doubt and if he doesn't play, it could be Mata in the 10. Or Jesse Lingard, because he doesn't often start Andreas in the middle. And then the 3 is definitely going to be Dan James on the left. That's all we got. There is no recognised striker. So
Martial's
out, Rashford's out. And we sold Lukaku and Sanchez. So it has to be, for me, Mason Greenwood up front. He can't come with this bullshit of trying to...
Because he was ill, weren't he?
He scored. He scored
the other night, didn't he? Yeah.
So it has... Ollie better not come with no bullshit. I want to protect him. I'll put Jesse in the false 9. See how... He has to play Mason Greenwood up front. And then for me, that'll be Jesse on the right.
Okay.
Wow.
So, Pete.
Wow.
And who do you think should be in there instead?
So what I think should happen is the back 5 has to be the back 5.
Yeah.
The midfield should be Pogba, McTominay and Fred. Yeah. And the front 3 with what we've got available should be Dan James, Greenwood up front and Lingard on the right.
Okay.
Out of what we got
That's
there.
not
It's just
bad.
that
That's
middle,
not a bad team,
Yeah,
is it?
it's the middle, yeah.
That's not a bad team. Arsenal.
What do you want me to do the same? What I want and what I feel Emery will do?
What you think Emery
I
do?
feel Emery.
What Emery do for us?
I feel Emery will go with obviously Leno, Maitland-Niles right, Socrates, Luiz, Tierney.
Tierney, not Kolasinac.
No.
You think Emery will play?
I think he will actually go with Tierney.
Okay.
Then probably Xhaka, Guendouzi as a 2, and then the 3 would be Pepe right, Ceballos possibly in that 10, Saka on the left, Ober up front.
Okay. And what would you go with?
I would go with obviously Leno in goal, Chambers on the right, Rob Holding.
Holding already?
Yep.
It's only had that.
You think he's ready?
Yep. I would have Socrates next to him, based on the fact that I know that him
No
and
David Luiz?
No, Socrates has played with Rob Holding.
I'd say Socrates been the worst of the two.
Do you know what? Last time out, he wasn't that bad. Luiz was the worst of the two. I think they kind of rotate each week.
I think.
I thought they've been both shit as each other.
I just feel
David
that-
Luiz got more to his game. He can hit a diagonal.
I know it's a debatable one. It's just kind of like Rob Holding's got to be in there, and then I'd say it's a toss up between the other two.
All right.
It's just a flip of a coin. Tierney left. I'll have Torreira and Guendouzi, and in the 3, Pepe, Willock, Saka, Oba.
Okay. It's a good enough team. You said Ceballos in there?
No.
No Ceballos in there, so Willock. Okay.
He's a baller, though,
It's
Ceballos,
an
man.
interesting team, and then
And we've got a lot of ammunition on the bench as well.
Let's now go a combined 11.
Yeah.
Right.
This won't be
so
hard.
let's start off in
harder
goal.
than you think.
In goal?
Still De Gea, man.
Right,
He's still better than Leno.
Can I just say something here?
still
I'm
better
just
than
gonna say something.
Yeah.
All right. I will go with De Gea. All right.
Yeah.
But if we were basing it on form over the last year or so, Leno's been the better goalkeeper. De Gea has made countless mistakes.
De Gea was bad towards the back end of
And
last
I even
season. I'll
can
give you
think
that.
of 2 mistakes he's made against Arsenal alone. At Old Trafford in the league, he dropped the ball in the net for our first goal. And at the Emirates, he was completely all over the
exactly
place
one.
with the Xhaka
Yeah.
shot. So
De Gea has dropped off. I will 100% admit that.
But the consistency and the fact that I still feel, I do feel now that Alisson and Ederson
Yeah.
are better goalkeepers, but he's still one of the best. And Leno's still got a few more years
he's still phenomenal.
to prove himself. I'd say in 2 years' time or so, we may look back at this and there might be a real big debate over Leno or De Gea.
Okay. Right back.
Hector Bellerin. We're going with squads as well,
I
even
swear,
injured
do you know,
players.
do you know, I'm not even bantering. Just correct me if I'm wrong, and I'll say, oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
that we
thought
wanted
otherwise.
him out.
You wanted him out. He's not good enough. He's a shit right back. All it is
let me-
fast.
No. Right,
That was
Robbie never said that.
I thought you lot wanted him, this guy out.
Hold on. Last season, before he got injured, and the season he was playing really. When he
Yeah.
got injured, he was the major miss for Arsenal.
Yeah, massively.
He was having a brilliant season. The season before,
He was dreadful.
he had a very.
I think
poor
Bissaka's
season.
better than defensively. You don't
But
get past Wan Bissaka. I'm
I-
telling you, man.
I'd have to-
I'm telling you. If I was a winger,
But listen,
if I was a
Wan-Bissaka
winger,
is-
I would prefer to play against Bellerin.
Right, what I'm
I
saying.
would.
Right, what I'm saying is now
Wan-Bissaka defensively,
he's solid.
in the modern game, a fullback has to create
No,
chances.
but he has to be a good defender as
Listen,
well,
Hector
man.
Bellerin's played 5 minutes and got more assists than Wan-Bissaka
So
this
what?
season already.
So what?
Right, but
I
what I'm
don't
saying
care.
in the modern game,
Dan
and
James
with
has
the
got more
style
goals
of
than
play,
Pepe, and what?
In the
And
modern
what?
in the modern game with the style of play. Yeah, Hector Bellerin offers more. He's not poor defensively. Well, as Robbie said a year or so ago, I would have happily drove him to wherever he wanted to go because
So what's
he didn't.
changed then?
Him. He's changed.
Has he? Has he though?
Yes.
Or it's just that you've missed him for so long, so that absence makes the heart grow fonder. Now you want him back.
We're talking.
Because you've had Maitland-Niles for
Flex,
ages
you're not
and he's
listening.
shit.
You're not listening.
I don't get that.
We're telling you that before he got injured, the whole mindset
He was
of
in
the
good
fan,
form.
he was
Yeah, he was
real
very
good.
good form.
He looked like the Hector Bellerin that burst onto the scene again. Then there was this period where it looked like he was worried about modelling his hair, and everything
How do you know
just...
the jury's still not out though? Big injury, got to come back. Look how Luke Shaw's been after his injury.
Yes, but what we're saying is, this is about the player over, not just right now. We're picking players that can be injured or had an injury, because it's only fair that if every person in our squads are fit, this would be the 11. Over the consistent period, Bellerin was tearing up the Premier League when he first came here. And Wan-Bissaka, no one even knew his name.
It was only his first season last year, and everyone knows about him now. He nicked to move to Man United. What do you mean?
But what I'm saying is,
he had one full
Hector
season.
Bellerin.
No, his breakthrough season at Palace was last year, and he was almost their most consistent player, bar Zaha. And he nicked to move to Man United because he's so good. What do you mean no one know about him?
No, I'm saying you're not listening. No, because he's taking that out. No, you're not listening.
I'm gonna get out of road on this, but for me,
you are not listening. What I'm trying to say.
I'm all ears.
When Hector Bellerin burst on the scene, which was about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
No one even knew who Wan-Bissaka was. I'm not saying
because he was a little kid in the
exactly. So that's what I'm saying.
So he's better than him because he's older than him.
Hector Bellerin has consistently been the better player. He's been there longer.
No, but he's been there. Yeah, but he's been there longer. But in that time, there's been bare times Arsenal fans are like, this guy's not the guy.
No,
yes, it's the same rules. It's the same rules.
That was only one
season. I don't watch Arsenal week in, week out, but from what I've seen,
but it's the same rules.
He's been just as inconsistent. All
right.
Wait, I'm having Wan-Bissaka in it.
No, like you just said, there was bare fans last season that were saying sell De Gea.
Wait, I'm adjudicating this here. And I have to say, it's really hard to decide, right? Because I think going forward,
they have to defend as well. They have to be able to not get got at.
Hold on,
Maitland-Niles
be quiet,
bombs forward every day.
Who's mentioned Maitland-Niles?
Going forward, definitely Bellerin, but I'd have to say defensively, it's got to be Wan-Bissaka. He's defensive. Hold on.
It's not that Hector's a bad defender.
No, I'm not saying he is, but just think
the
defensively.
overall package.
What we're going to do? We're going to we'll ask people who are watching this and listening to this to judge it. And I don't want you to be biased. It's a difficult one because I would have took Wan-Bissaka at Arsenal as well.
I would have took him.
He's solid.
But only while Hector's
I don't think there's a better tackler.
I don't believe
a better tackler in the division. A guy that tackles, he's excellent.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, defensively he's good.
But he's a defender.
But getting forward.
There you go. What do you prefer? What do you want your striker? He's wicked at tackling, but he don't score.
Listen, you're not.
What's his primary purpose?
The right back position, the left back position, they need to be able to do both. Hector can do both. Just because Wan-Bissaka's better than him in terms of the defensive mould, the overall package, attack and defend, is Hector Bellerin.
Wan-Bissaka's he's crossing and that is poor, isn't it?
It's not poor. It's just not as good at.
He doesn't seem
Trent
to be.
Alexander-Arnold.
He doesn't beat the first.
No, it's not.
But he doesn't. No, hold on.
He's
nowhere near Trent Alexander-Arnold.
But what I'm saying is he needs to improve in that area. But he's a good dribbler. He can commit players and he can drive.
I'm saying the overall package.
But he needs to improve on that. But do you know what I feel though? I feel with Arsenal though, the way you do actually play in terms of your connection between the midfield and your defence, especially when you go forward, you score goals like that. You know them FIFA goals where I hate them goals where it's an open net tapping because of the way you play. You play quick triangles, so you could pump it into an attacking midfielder. Your fullback could go on the overlap, receive it back, and then you've got a tap. And we don't actually play like that. We don't create like that. And I feel that if we did, we could see Wan-Bissaka bouncing it off people and receiving it on.
But his crossing's not great.
Yeah,
his crossing.
Well, when you start playing to that strength of
for
him,
me, it's Wan-Bissaka.
All right, listen, because we ain't even got past right back here. So I'm going to leave it. You guys, it's 50-50, but I'm going to leave it up to people to vote on it. Let's go left back now. Left back.
Tierney's better than Shaw.
Tierney better than Shaw.
Yeah, listen, Kolasinac's better than Shaw, so let's not even get into this debate.
That's a bit more equal, I'd say.
So what we saying, Tierney then?
Tierney's a good player, man.
Centre-halves.
Centre, I think one from each.
Well, Maguire gets in.
Maguire, he will get in.
Yeah, and then for Lindelof is not. It depends because if you were going to say Socrates, I'd argue that Lindelof's better.
No. I'm going to say Rob Holding.
For the impact I've seen him have on you, I could accept that, but Lindelof, He had a good season last year. Yeah, he had a good season, man. So it's hard because
he ain't started that great this year, but
he's been a bit iffy. But Rob Holding's been out for so long, I'm a bit uncomfortable with kind of just saying he's better than Lindelof.
Yeah, but we're forgetting about injuries here. We're going based on what we've seen from him.
I don't know, man.
Rob Holding.
Yeah, but DT.
I don't know, man.
1 second,
Lindelof's an accomplished
I'm trying to be very subjective here. Now, has Rob Holding had one good season yet? He hasn't, has he?
I'll tell you something, it was having half a good season. Listen, you let me speak, man. He was having half a good season until Rashford put him out.
Lindelof.
I think Lindelof just shaved
Last year he had a good season, didn't
No
he?
way.
He did have a very good season.
The
last year.
whole season was
Rob
pretty
Holding,
consistent.
though.
I don't know.
He's better
At
than
the beginning,
Cannavaro.
I was like,
We're
yeah, I
gonna
have to take that.
this
But
to
now
a
I'm
vote as
thinking
well.
about it. I'm like,
This one's going to
I
have to
think
go to a
Lindelof
vote.
just sneaks
This
it,
one's
man.
going to have to go to a vote as well.
Jesus Christ.
Rob Holding, you know, he's better than Cannavaro.
Well, I'll vote on that one. So no, he's not.
We need to vote. I've got no problem with Slabhead being in there.
Because your defense has been so bad, it can see so many goals. I feel we're just uncomfortable.
Yes, but we were really good.
More in that, but
we were really good last season defensively until Rob Holding got taken out.
how early
And
was
then we
that
fell
against
apart.
you? What was it like? It was before New Year, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was before
was
New
around
Year,
then.
but we literally at the same time lost Bellerin,
them both at the same
Holding,
time.
all at the same time.
I don't know,
man.
DT, man. I don't feel
All right, we're
comfortable
going to
with
put that one to a vote. Right, we're going to go now into the midfield. Right?
The only one that gets in is
So-
Pogba when I'm out. You
Are
can
we
choose.
doing a 4-3-3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, I'm
3-3.
just saying to make it easy, so I have to argue. Pogba gets in, and then whatever you want
I've
to do.
got no problem with
Because
Pogba in there.
from a Man United fan, I'd say Ceballos and then Torreira. That's me.
Well, for me, I would say Torreira,
Yeah, I agree
and
with
in that position, he would be ahead of Matic.
Yeah,
and
easily,
players like
yeah.
that.
Easily,
And then
easily.
the other one for me, I would actually go with Guendouzi.
Yeah. There's toss up between him and Ceballos.
Yeah.
I just-
The only thing I say about
Ceballos is
Ceballos
just a
is
wicked-
because
he's baller,
he's a
man.
serious player.
Baller.
But what I'm saying is he's only just come here.
Yeah.
We haven't seen a lot of him here
Okay.
and everything else.
I
So I'm
think
going with
Guendouzi's-
someone.
Yeah. He's been playing well. We
he's a great
as
footballer.
United
Guendouzi's
fans, I
better
look at
than
Guendouzi 100%.
I think we looks better than McTominay. And he's playing and scoring goals right now. He's proving it.
I haven't seen enough of Scott McTominay to say no way. Have you seen what he's done? He's playing he's the best out of a bad bunch.
You
at
see,
the
play
minute, so-
holding midfielder.
I would like
He's a
him
big-
to.
he's a
but we
big
see
unit,
him.
innit?
We see him bombing on trying to create and all sorts. So our midfield is awful. The only person who gets in it is Pogba. I've got no.
So what are we saying?
input.
Pogba,
You lot decide.
Guendouzi, and
Torreira.
I'm happy with that.
All right, let's go up front.
Yeah.
The tackle
Right,
three.
so the front three.
Let's not even argue
Are you
about
talking
it.
about who's who and who's like
Like
not,
we'll go
not
what
form or
positions?
injuries and
No,
all that?
we'll
just
go like
no
overall.
form, no,
overall.
just
It's not
overall.
about form, injuries.
But
or anything.
Aubameyang straight in. So that
Straight
only
in,
leaves two
but
spots.
I have Aubameyang on the left-hand side, ahead of Martial. Martial would play on the left and all day long. On the right-hand side, Pepe. Don't care that Dan James has had a great
So
start to life.
who would you? Oh, wait. So who,
And then, no, I'd have Pepe on the right, Aubameyang on the left, Laka up front.
I would actually have Aubameyang is a 9. I don't really see when he plays on the left. You lot see it more. I don't know, but I just see him as width of the 18. As soon as he's there, he just wants to score.
But he also did finish top goal scorer, predominantly playing from the left
Did he
last
play
season.
mostly there on the left last season? All right, fair play. But for me, I'd have him up front. Now the Dan James Pepe thing now,
Presence blood.
presence. Well, Dan James has shown a lot more presence in 6 games than Pepe has. He had some charity from the penalty spot for 72 million and 15 million. He already scored 3 goals, bins and out, top bins. Pepe's going to come good, but right now, Daniel James we've got more for our money. So I would go with Dan James on the right.
Absolutely no chance. Absolutely no chance. Not a hope in hell's chance.
Right,
Do you know what? Do you know about Pepe?
Over the course of this, look, Pepe will come good, but right now Dan James on board him. I actually, as much as I love Martial,
Can I just say, has Dan James got any assists? Has he only
I
just
don't
got
think
3
so.
goals?
He's
Well,
just got 3
really,
goals.
the goal
But he's causing havoc,
Well,
though.
hold on. The goal contributions are the same.
don't class
Same
the
as- no.
assist for because Lacazette had to take about 500 touches before he scored.
He took 2.
He didn't take 2.
Yes, he did. He took 2
had to
against
beat,
Spurs.
against Tottenham. He had to beat about. He had to go
No,
through
it
2
was-
challenges.
Right, can I just say
He's got to
something to
let
you?
an assist.
Can I
Assist
say
is no more than 2
right?
touches.
Can I say something to you?
Yeah?
Can I say Pepe has 2 assists, 1 goal. Dan James has 3 goals, no assists. 3 goal contributions.
15 million versus 72, mate. Don't care.
Listen,
Don't care.
Dan James, Dan James ain't sending Andy Robertson scurrying back.
Dan James is going to rinse whoever you play right back. Anyway, and you'll see.
All right, we'll see.
Yeah. I would actually, Lacazette, man. I actually prefer Lacazette over Aubameyang. There's something about Lacazette, I just love the way he works off the ball. I think he's clinical as well. I think he offers more.
A minute ago, you just said you would have Aubameyang up front.
Yeah, I think I would probably...
Now you said Lacazette.
Over, because on the left, I'll probably
So
put
what's your-
Lacazette
so
over
you-
Martial.
So would
Do
you
you
have the same
agree with
front
his front
three?
three then?
You agree with my front 3 then?
Yeah.
All right, fine. We could have just said that from the beginning.
No, because I like
This is
to wind you
pretty
up.
damning, isn't it, for United?
The only one is the Martial one. That's where when he's firing, which we still haven't seen. But at the moment,
all you're saying is
we're out of form. We don't
You're just
score no
saying
goals.
De Gea-
My strikers ain't banging. They're not scoring goals. So how can I sit
no,
here
but
and
at the
say?
moment you're saying De Gea,
Yeah,
Which is a confirmed.
Maguire.
yeah.
Maguire's a confirmed.
Lindelof,
Pogba's a
Bissaka. I'm
confirmed.
saying.
No, Wan-Bissaka.
We're
you're
saying
Lindelof.
confirmed.
Yeah.
And then you're saying Pogba.
Yeah.
There's only 3
And that's it.
confirmed.
4 players.
Rashford doesn't get in there. Lingard doesn't get in there. Martial on a good day, I could argue it because I've argued it in the past.
But where?
Over the
Up
last-
front or left? Because if it's left, then you couldn't argue it over Oba.
I'd say left, and I would say left, but I'd have Aubameyang up front. But it's a close one between him and Lacazette, is what I'm actually saying. Because
Well, I'm only
I like
putting
Lacazette.
Oba on the left as well because he's predominantly played there. I do like him through the middle because he's so potent around the 6-yard box. But he, on that left-hand side, Golden Boot winner last year. Along with
Do you know what?
Salah
It's
and
hard for
Mane.
me, yeah, because Martial's best position for me is a 9, but not over Aubameyang. So I have to be like, he's not as good as him.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
not. So his second best position is obviously on the left because I know what Martial can bring and how clinical he can be. That's why I'm like, for me, it's a toss-up between him and Lacazette.
Who's going to win the game?
Can we put this to a vote?
Yeah, it's more sensible to put this over. Yeah.
I've already said
You've
it.
just described also having a way better team.
Yeah, I know.
You've just done a starting
this
11
is-
with Flex, even
this is Old
himself admitting
Trafford.
there's only 4.
Now you tell me the truth off camera.
Who's going to win
Yeah.
the game? I'm asking you.
We're
who's
going to win the
gonna
game. It's going to come back and bite me in the arse and this video.
Oh, you know,
already.
for me, you know.
But it's
No,
look,
do you know what though?
at the end of the day,
Why?
we,
Why?
look,
What's the point of coming and being concerned? Be
as
brave.
fans,
Yeah.
we have to go
Yeah.
into the game
Put your neck
like,
on the line, mate.
you know what I mean? We have to go into it.
How do we
shut
win that
up.
game? How do we win it?
By picking the right formation and being, I wouldn't say brave, I would say just go and attack them. The best form of defence is attack.
Okay.
And Man United are there for the taking. They're
And
on the ropes.
you earlier said you think it'd be a draw.
Yeah.
How do you think that's gonna? How do you your mind? How's that
I think
playing
I
out?
think a mixture of the two things will happen. A mixture of Arsenal just on the road in general, just how they are, and it being Old Trafford. Under Mourinho, we were poor. There's been times under Van Gaal, we were on our arse. The time when we also bet that game when we broke through Rashford, when there was team sheet. You were like, who are these? Still couldn't beat us. Like that. This could be RVG, yeah. Robin van Greenwood. I'm telling you, yeah.
Oh, for Christ's
What?
sake.
What? That's how he moves. He plays like.
I've seen how he moves. I've watched the videos.
Yeah, he plays.
Let's,
he plays.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I on that, yeah. Listen, oi, you know that, yeah. You know these 70-year-olds these days. You know, they're always up for a bit of banter, aren't they?
Not getting involved,
Jesus, oi, when I saw that, yeah. You see when you got your thumb and you're scrolling, I just kept it scrolling, bro. I was like, nah, what is that? Anyway, old type man like Mason, my God, I don't care. Anyway, footballing
guy,
matters, yeah. Footballing matters,
Yes.
yeah. The guy honestly, he's clinical. Both feet, don't know what he is. He's comfortable on both. He can shift right, and I think he'll cause you problems. Ollie, don't do me dirty. Play the kid. We ain't got nothing else to play. Have to play him. So I think a combination of that, just Greenwood just coming out of nowhere. I think we can get something out of the game for sure. Equally though, of course we
you
can
could
lose.
get slapped.
But I just feel, my gut feeling is, do you know what? There's loads of negativity around Man United. Sometimes you have to just put it to the side and go, you know what? I don't care, man. Monday night's going to come and Arsenal will come into town. And at the end of the day, we have to. Our record shows that we've always got a chance against you, no
do you know
matter
what
how bad we are.
I want to ask you, right? Because this is something that a lot of people won't realise when you're at home watching on the telly and stuff. And we see it from years gone by, the vibe in the crowd.
Yeah.
You get, like, over the last few weeks, even when we capitulated and we let them 2 goals in against Watford, there was a lot of anger. But it wasn't as vicious as years gone by. Like, okay, we moved.
Yeah, they're more
when
behind
we
the
went
scene.
2-0 down against Spurs, no one's heads dropped. The fans kept going. You know, even when we was out in Germany, when it was a tough place to go, we'd done what the fans have stuck by. What's it like from a Manchester United perspective in the crowd at the moment?
Very, very mixed and flat as well. I think for the big games, Chelsea first game of the season, obviously everyone's loud up for it, and then we won 4-0. Old Trafford won't be quiet from the off. It'll be, we're a confidence thing, and because our team's not giving us a lot back to go off, it gets very quiet. So the best thing, doesn't matter if I say it, not Emery's not listening to me. The best thing you can do is silence us within the first 15-20 minutes.
Score a goal.
Not even just score a goal, just be on top. If you're on top and in control of the game, Old Trafford, you'd hear a pin drop.
What's you say you hear a pin drop, it's quiet and that, but when things are going wrong, like you got a goal down and you're not playing well,
they do get behind the boys now.
Are you getting behind them, or is there anger?
No, they're not going because they're not going. Oh, Solskjaer, just get out! No, standing up, and they're not doing that. They're going. They're singing ole ole. You know what I mean? They're in the stadium.
Still singing ole at the wheel?
No, she can't stand that song anymore. But in general, the support for the manager on match days in the stadium. It hasn't got to like a Wenger point of view when, you know, people banners, do you know what I'm saying? Banners and all these things.
Planes.
Nowhere near. And a lot of people, not as much now, because with who I'm speaking to, a lot of people are still fully behind Oli and don't see all of these problems.
You know what? At the end of the day, like you said, the fans
it's still very
wanted
early.
him.
Exactly.
Yeah. So they've got to give him time.
And that's why I'm saying, like, at the beginning of the season.
Do you not think you should have waited till the end of the season now?
In hindsight, it's very easy to say that now because of this position we're in. So,
because did you know? I don't mean to rub this in. Well, I do, but anyway.
I was going to say
since you beat PSG, you've played 19 games and you've only won 5, and you've lost 10, drawn 4.
Awful. Relegation form we've shown. The only thing, like I said to you at the beginning of this, if you want to look at it in the context of bringing in last season, then it looks horrible. But then in the context of this season, we'll level on points with Spurs, who are amazing. We'll level on points with Chelsea. We're 3 points off you. So for how good you are, you're only 3 points above us after 6 games.
We haven't been that good.
And that's another thing.
That's the thing.
And that's what I'm saying.
So we can't
You're saying all this thing, and the thing is with you lot is you were so happy with the summer stuff. Everyone was saying, you know, look, well done, we got this, we got Luiz, that's a good stopgap.
Well, I think
we got Pepe, and you're still finding yourself.
I think every Arsenal fan still knew there was deficiencies in the defence.
Well, there you go, and they're still ever present. So that's what I'm saying. We've got our own shit to worry about, but you got yours as well.
All right, let me ask this before we go. Who's finishing higher this season?
If you don't, Emre shouldn't get an extension.
No, we've said that.
You should.
Well, I've said he's got to finish in the top 4.
No, but that doesn't count. Yeah, it doesn't count if we finish 6th.
If you finish 5th and we finish 6th, that doesn't count.
So
the other way around. I still feel we've got enough to get in the top 4 because I feel that everyone else, as the competition starts to pick up pace, their squads have not got the kind of quality that we have. I feel Man United, they're already seeing how hard it is again with Thursdays and you know, and that was a Thursday game at home.
Yeah.
They were playing, so they've still got to go to Kazakhstan. You get your man Kidi out, yeah. But this is all
You've
calm.
been there, innit? What's it like?
I ain't been there. Where's Azerbaijan? Don't watch that.
You've not been to Kazakhstan?
No, we never went to Kazakhstan. No, Azerbaijan.
Same thing, isn't it?
It's no.
It's
but,
miles
you know
away.
what I mean? Remember last year when it was like going to all these places? It's calmer, mate. You're going.
It is calmer.
Good luck in Serbia as well.
I told you, mate. I'm going to borrow them goggles off you.
Where are we going to next anyway? Where is it? Is it Belgium? And then where is it? Portugal. That's lovely, innit? Get the old sombreros out and everything, mate.
See you in the quarterfinals, isn't it? See you in the quarterfinals.
But do you know, look, you'll see. And then Chelsea, they've seen how difficult it is. The moment they step into the Champions League competition, they've lost that game. Their squad's thin. They couldn't strengthen. This is the perfect year for any one of us.
Yeah, but more so you though, because you've actually got more of a process than the others.
We're more established. Emery's been here longer. He is the more established manager. Won trophies. So he does have the better CV. Plus Tottenham are all over the place. Why is no one talking about Tottenham's away record?
It's true.
They've not won in the league since about January.
But this is what I'm saying. Like, the ever-present Pochettino's amazing and all this. We're on the same points as them. You know what I mean? So. But the pressure is on you.
You think you'll get in the top 4? No.
The only way we do is if something as surprising as last year happened when the best of the rest was awful and we all kept taking turns to bottle it.
Can I also say as well, I think there's one team in the mix that's outside of that.
Leicester.
Yeah.
I think that they're going to be there or thereabouts. I think they might fall short, but I think they might be able to break the top 6.
Top 6, yeah.
I think Leicester might be the one that can...
For us, I predicted at the end of the beginning of the season before we even played Chelsea, as soon as the transfer window shut, I said, right, this squad is a 5th or 6th best team out of the top 6. It is, even now on paper, with how the lack of investment into creativity and goals and letting goals walk out the door and not replacing it. For me, I will give Ollie to the end of the season 100%. I back him because I want to see what he's made of and I want to see if we can get out of this rut. And I want to see him get to a stage where he can have another summer and the club give him the funds and the backing. However, if Ollie doesn't finish even 6th with this team, because that team is good enough to get 6th, in my opinion, there or thereabouts. If he finishes 8th or 9th and that is managerial. That means you ain't got it.
Wow, Man United fan talking about finishing 6th.
Wow.
That's the sad reality.
Same
man.
guys who used to slag us off
That's
about
the sad
finishing
reality.
4th.
It's the sad reality.
Listen,
Sad reality,
I want to get your opinions on it out there. Arsenal fans, Manchester
Strange,
United
innit?
fans, who's going to win the game? Who's going to finish higher?
Score prediction.
Your score predictions, the combinations that
No,
you
I'm
think
saying
are the
yours.
better. The score predictions? Do you know what? I think this is going to be
I'm putting you on the spot now. You've been doing it to me for the last hour.
I think if Unai Emery goes there and he's bold and he's on the front foot, I'm going 2-1 to Arsenal. I think we can win this game. I know it's just, you know what? The only thing that will defeat us in this game is us.
Ourselves.
Our mindset. If our mindset is wrong, Man United have quality players and they will beat us. Or they will get a draw, like Flex says. But if we go there with the right mindset that, like, you know what, these guys are on the floor at the moment and we're going to put them to the sword, I'm going 2-1. Where are you going?
3-1.
3-1. Phew, that's bold.
Over. Carrying on the scoring record.
And you're going?
2-2.
2-2. So what are you guys going out there? Don't forget to click on the link as well for 88 Sport. Don't forget also 888 Sport, should I say. And don't forget as well that you can download this podcast on all the usual formats. Check out Flex's channel, United Stand. You can subscribe to them. If you're a United supporter, you can subscribe to them. If
you're an Arsenal man and love
you want to see a
laughing
bit
when
of
we
banter
lose.
right now, you know what I mean? Because at the moment, it's
calmer, innit?
Hey, if we win though, are you lot, don't go walkies and say, oh,
I ever?
Yeah, we never.
my son
I
had
ever?
to, had to shoot off. I had to get
Do
off.
I ever?
Yeah. Well,
Do I
my
ever?
little man needed to
Hold
get
on a
home.
minute,
and,
do I
you know what
ever?
I mean? He got school next day and
Oh,
that,
no,
so
actually, it's Monday night, you know.
don't try and get the
You know
excuses
what I
in,
mean?
yeah?
No, have I ever though?
Nah, you haven't.
I never have, so there we go. Do you know what I mean?
Alright,
Oh,
and
and
we will
subscribe
be-
to my channel as well.
Subscribe to
Don't
the
do that.
channel.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Right, and we'll be back next week. And listen, coming up, there's some big games coming up as well in Blood Brothers. These two, your game soon, the United Stand
Under
versus
2 weeks to go.
DTFC. That game's coming up soon, and you'll be able to
you
see
fit to play?
how all of these
I don't know why I
games,
am at the minute.
all of these games turn out by watching the Blood Brothers series. Get onto AFTV right now and DTFC and United Stand, and you can see the Blood Brothers pre-season series for all of our teams. Thanks. We'll be back next week.